Hi, I'm Nir Eyal, and this is the Near and Far podcast. This podcast is about business, behavior, and the brain. On this show, I do a few things. I read quick articles I've written about topics shaping your behavior. I interview authors of books I enjoy, and from time to time, I devote episodes to answering your questions. If you want to ask me a question, visit the podcast page on iTunes, go to ratings and reviews, and ask me a question by leaving a review. I promise to read it and possibly include your question in a future episode, so please, ask me anything. Now, enjoy the episode, and for more, you can always visit me at nearandfar.com.
What is the opposite of distraction? The single word that will change your life this year. By Nir Eyal, narrated by Johnny Heller. In my research and consulting work, I've heard countless people tell me how difficult it is to manage their time. Yet when I ask them what they got distracted from, that is, what they plan to do with any given moment in time, they have trouble answering the question. What is a distraction anyway? The best way to understand what distraction is to know what it is not. What is the opposite of distraction? It's not focus. The opposite of distraction is traction. A distraction is something we do that moves us away from what we really want. Traction is an action that moves us towards what we really want. The difference seems obvious, but distraction is a sneaky way of tricking us. At any given moment, it's hard to tell whether we are moving towards or away from the very things we need to accomplish in our day. Checking your work email may feel productive at the moment, but when you really need to focus your attention on a big project, you are bound to regret the time you wasted cleaning out your inbox. The difference between traction and distraction is forethought. Any action can be either a distraction or traction depending on what you intend to do with your time. There's nothing wrong with scrolling through your Facebook feed, watching YouTube videos, or playing a video game, as long as that's what you intend to do. Taking a break can be good for you. It's when you do things unintentionally that you get into trouble. When I ask clients to show me their calendar so I can see what they intend to do, instead of a time-boxed calendar reflecting their values and priorities, they often show me schedules full of white space. They don't keep a detailed calendar, and as a result get thrown off track by the whims of family members, colleagues, and friends. They have prestigious jobs, yet leave themselves unguarded against their most valuable asset, their time. What I observe when my clients start using a schedule maker is that they greatly reduce the number of distractions that take them off track and start improving how they spend their time. As a result, they become more productive and satisfied, both at work and at home. A schedule maker is a tool for building a weekly template for how you intend to spend your time. With the weekly template in hand, you'll always know the difference between traction and distraction. If you find yourself doing what you planned, that's traction. Anything else is a distraction. Thankfully, there are free online schedule maker tools. If you take away just one thing, remember this. You can't call something a distraction unless you know what it is distracting you from. If you don't schedule your day, you can't possibly know the difference between what you intended to do and what was a distraction.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Near and Far podcast. You can always find more at my blog, nearandfar.com. And don't forget, if you have a question you'd like me to explore in a future episode, leave me your question in the form of a review for the podcast on iTunes.